This conference will now be recorded.
But now that we've talked about the conversational selling, chance encounters, words to use, and really being more intentional about talking to people and sharing your belief about Avon with others, we're really to that next step of now starting to create your goals. And I know many of you have goals and ideas in place of what you want with your business, but tonight we're going to work together to take that next step forward to not only reaching your goals, but so you can reach your dreams as well. So, here's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to start with your dream, and the homework has that area for you to fill out your dream and the things that you want in life. We also have SMART goals. We're going to discuss what a SMART goal is, and this is a system that you can use for every aspect in your life. And ever since I learned about SMART goals, I have really been putting it into place for personal things, family goals, all different types of goal setting. And if we follow the SMART system, you will be on the right track. We're going to talk about the measures that we look at to help you set your goals, and that's mostly in Vibe. And then we're going to talk about some things that you need to think about while you're setting your goals. And then we're going to define your strategies. So members of the Harvard 1979 MBA program were asked if they had written down a clear set of goals. Only 3% had. 10 years later, the 3% that had written goals were earning, on average, 10 times more than the other 97% of their class combined. So that's really interesting to look at. And it really does say a lot about what it can mean for you to, write down your goals and have them set in place. But it's really always important to dream big. And Avon has helped many great people achieve big dreams. I have worked with a representative who she wanted to have enough money to get herself a new van because she had pretty much driven the wheels off of her vehicle doing Avon deliveries over the years. So she set that goal in place, and within 2 years, she had saved all of her money from her Avon business and was able to purchase a really nice new van. And to this day, she drives that van. She is a representative that lives over in the Sterling Heights area. And it's so exciting to hear when you put your goal or your dream in place that it can come true. So, but it's super important to determine specifically how your Avon business can help you achieve that dream. It's also important to determine when you want to achieve that dream. So I think a lot of us, we're dreamers and we think of all the great ideas and things that we want for our lives. But it's so important to determine when do we want that to happen? Because if we don't determine that, that dream could go on and on and on for a lifetime without actually being put into fruition. So the dream that you have is going to be something that you write down, and you really need to think about it. We also want you to provide, what is your title that you want to be at and when? And then when do you want to make it that certain amount of money by? So you need to be thinking about the timeline as well when you're thinking of your dream. And don't forget that sometimes dreams take years to achieve. But as long as you have a plan and you know that you're at some point going to achieve it and when you plan to, then it can happen. I know one of you on the call wants to retire in 2021. And something that I love about that is that you put a date on your goal and your dream to be retired in 2021. So that's what it's about. It's about making sure that you make your dreams attainable and within reach of what you're currently doing. So we're going to talk about that tonight. What is a SMART goal? And we've talked about SMART goals before, right? But tonight we're going to define that a little bit deeper. And this is really the first step to helping you achieve your dream. And setting goals means establishing a measurable set of targets that will enable you to reach your overall dream. So with the SMART process, S stands for being specific. Making sure that goal is specific and exactly what you want to happen. And secondly, M, measurable. Make sure you have something to measure that goal by. And lucky for us, we have a free online management system that does allow us to measure our progress. And I'm talking about Vibe. And then A stands for attainable. Make sure it's attainable with the things that you do have going on in your life. We can say, hey, I want to sell off $100,000 this year. Well, we're in campaign 4. How attainable does that sound? And if you feel like it is, then we have to be very specific and measurable and have a plan in place to make that happen, right? R, make sure it's relevant to your goal, relevant to your dream. And then T, time bound. And that's that piece where we need to make sure that we're putting time on it and making sure we're putting a date on when we want to achieve it by. Any questions right now about SMART goals? I'm going to give you a few examples. And if you have anything, feel free to put it in your chat, put it in the chat box or come off of mute. So here's an example. And I'm just going to do the first one and tell you if it's SMART or not. I want to recruit more. Now, would that be considered a SMART goal? No, that's not a SMART goal. So to break it down and put it into the SMART process, not SMART, I love it, Julie. It would be more like this. I want to recruit one person each month through the end of this year. So do you see how that was more specific? It's definitely attainable, I think, for most everyone. It's relevant to this person's business, and it's time-bound because we state that she wants to do that by the end of the year. So if we look at it, we can say, okay, I don't really know this person, but I know it's February, so she wants to have one person each month. So she would have 12 new recruits within the year, one a month. So that would be considered a SMART goal. So in the chat box, this is my next one. Is this SMART or not SMART? I want to increase my personal sales. Okay, we have one answer. Anyone else? So I want to increase my personal sales. Okay, all right, good, Anna. That would be not a SMART goal. I mean, it definitely is a goal, but it doesn't really follow any of the steps to being SMART. So let's make it SMART. I want to increase each of my personal orders for campaigns 3 and 4 by $100 each. So not only is she going to increase her personal sales, she put it into perspective and she made it very specific. She wants to increase her personal orders in the next 2 campaigns by $100 each. So in the end, we know that in that month, she would have an increase of personal sales by $200. So imagine if she made that goal for every campaign, she'd have an increase over the year of $1,200. Wait. Of double that. So 2,400. I like that. That is a SMART goal. Anybody have a SMART goal that they've been thinking about or a goal in general, and we can help you turn it into a SMART goal? I've heard a lot of people talking about the high five incentive or wanting to get more customers on their online store. Jana says, my goal when is to retire in 2020. Okay. One sec. The chats, they pop up top for a split second, and sometimes I try to read it, but my goal is when I retire in August of 2020 that my Avon money equal at least half of my current income. Excellent. So Janet, do you feel like that's a SMART goal and applies to this SMART process? Or do you need help making that a SMART goal? So I think with that goal, Janet, it's perfect. And exactly, I think it needs some breakdown and needs to have some measures to it. And I definitely think it's attainable, but it needs to be a little more specific, right, on what are some actions you'll put into place to make that happen. Julie says, my goal is to earn 100 from the high five incentive in February. So I need 20 unique orders of $50 or more. Excellent. I would say that's a SMART goal. Perfect. So Janet, definitely we can work on your SMART goal together too, because we will all go over the homework together as well. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, you guys. So hopefully you understand what a SMART goal is, because that's how we need to start moving our business forward and always putting SMART goals into action, no matter what it is we're working to achieve. All right. So we will use these measures for our goals. And this is in regards to your homework, okay, you guys? This will ensure that our goals are specific, measurable, and relevant, which are 3 of the 5 letters in SMART. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin with your personal goals, because they most are directly tied to your dream. And our personal goals include your current earnings, what you're earning right now, your title that you earn at, so your leadership title, your G1, Generation 1, new appointments, and your personal sales dollars. Okay, so that's in that teal box right there. Those are the items we're going to look at for your personal goals, okay? And then we are going to look at the team as well, because they really help us achieve our earnings and title goals, and our next step to set those team goals. So those are the 2 areas we're going to focus on. And in the team goals, let me see if we break that down. We're going to break down team goals here in a second. So does that make sense why we look at those categories to help you determine where you want your goals? And these are the areas that will show us whether or not you're reaching those goals as well. And it will make more sense too when we go through the application guide homework. All right. So there's going to be some additional measures that we look at, but Avon really believes these are the highest level measures that will drive your success as a leader. And this is why we will establish our team goals using the team measures. Okay, so let's talk about the things you should consider when you're setting your personal goals. The first thing you need to consider is your dream. So you need to have your dream buttoned down. And I know our dreams can always change, but how close do you want to get to achieving your dream? And it's so important to align your goals with that dream that you have in mind. So that's something to consider. And another important consideration is your time, right? You have to be thinking about how much time do you plan to commit to your Avon business. So if your goals are really aggressive, but you really don't have a lot of that time to dedicate to the goals, you probably won't be successful. So it's important to be realistic with yourself, so your goals are attainable, which is the A in SMART. And then an important step to setting your goals is reflecting on your past performance. So something that you'll do is you're going to go back and look at your performance from your previous 6 campaigns, just so you can understand what was happening, in those 6 campaigns. And it'll help you reflect in order to plan for your future 6 campaigns. And something else you want to consider is how much will your first generation new appointments impact your business? Okay, because I know that a lot of us are recruiting and we are talking to people, we're sharing Avon with others. Some of you get Elma leads, so you have those as well. So that is a part of your planning is, if I'm going to have a new recruit every week, you have to think about how much sales that's going to help will help your increase and your sales goals as well. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that you might consider while you're setting up your personal goals? Anything else you might try to consider? I think it's a really important thing to make sure you look at your time. And just like we had talked about, making sure you have time for that goal that you're putting in place or that dream. And then once your personal goals are established, you can then focus on what do you want to see for your team? What goals do you have for your team for this year? And because your team really significantly impacts your personal results. Can someone come off mute or in the chat box share with me a way that your team can impact your personal success in a huge way or in a not so good way? Jana says, I have big goals and no time. May need to rethink some things. Well, sometimes, Janet, I think it's about knowing what your goals are and then kind of prioritizing the actions that will get you to that goal the fastest. Okay? So who's ever had their team affect their personal success? Yep, measurable goals too. Exactly, Janet. So I think sometimes your team can affect your success when maybe your team isn't as engaged as they had been. So their sales are lacking, which means your sales are lacking, which means your paycheck is lacking, right? I don't know if any of you have went through that, but that tends to happen this time of year when people are coming off of Christmas. Or maybe you have had a team member that got into leadership and she was doing excellent and signing up new recruits, and maybe something personal came up in her life, so she couldn't do Avon anymore, and you lost that strong leader. Or maybe you've had somebody come in and she's a diamond in the rough, and Mary Beth says if your team is not motivated to building teams. Sure. Yep, it's really finding those diamond in the roughs that really want to. But maybe you've had it on the flip side where you were just expecting your team to do their normal team sales, and you got a new person on your team and she's gung-ho and she is building her business and recruiting and selling and reaching President's Club and doing all these fabulous things, and it's a really great thing that's happened to your business. So that's how much your team can affect your business. So that's why it's important that when you're setting your goals, you need to set some goals for your team as well. Okay, so some of the things that we look at is your team and their new appointments. your team size. We're going to look at your team order activity, meaning how many people on your team are ordering in a campaign. Team orders, how many orders are you getting? What is their average order size? If you add all your team sales up and divide it by how many orders, you'll find out their team average order size. And then we look at your team sales. So all of those measures are right in Vibe, and that's what we're going to look at in a few minutes. So I can show you how to find those numbers. Some of you might already know how to. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at your team's past results, the last 6 campaigns, so that can help you determine your team's future and your goals that you put in place for them. We're going to look at your team's best opportunities for growth. And then where do you want to focus your efforts with your team this year? So once your team goals are set and you've considered all of these things, you'll have to ask yourself, are your goals attainable? Do I think I can make this happen? Am I setting my goals too lightly because I don't want to fail? Or am I setting them too high and don't really know if I can make it happen? But sometimes I think we tend to maybe not set them high enough. And part of this is about stretching your ideas, stretching your goals to see if you can stretch your team a little bit. Okay. Any thoughts on that or questions? So once you have your personal goals and your team goals set, we're going to ask you to set specific goals for the KPIs, key performance indicators, for your next 6 campaigns, which would pretty much be the next 3 months. And it sounds harder than it is, you guys. So we have a really great chart that will help you just fill in the blanks. And it would be like your next 3-month goals. So some of the things that you need to think about to make progress towards those goals is consider, what do you need to achieve to stay on track to reach your goal? Sometimes we have to consider, what season is it? Can you expect more or less from your business this time of year? We all know at the holiday time, we expect more because more people are out shopping and our sales are up and our team sales are up and our personal sales are up and it's pretty amazing. It slows down just a tad bit, right after the holidays, but it starts to pick up. We're seeing a pickup right now into campaign 5. You always have to consider, where do you plan to focus your efforts? Sometimes we have too many things we're trying to focus on, and we really need to focus our efforts in those key areas that is going to help you build to your goal. And sometimes we have to cut our list back of areas we want to work on. And can you focus on growing your team now, which will positively impact your business for the long term? Anything else you guys might consider? Anything that sticks out in your mind that you thought of, like, I better consider this? Maybe you know that you have, I know something that's affected someone's goal setting and plans was their son was getting married. It's their first son to get married, big Italian wedding, and they had to be a part of all of the showers, all of the prep, all of the planning. They're paying for it. So because of that representative planned around that, because that was a big thing happening in her life, and she knew she wouldn't have the time to dedicate during that time frame that she would want to. So she had to set her goals around that. So be thinking of all those things as you set your goals. And then once your goals are set, which are all on the first page, you guys, of your homework, it's important to reflect on them and ask yourself these questions. are these goals that I just wrote down, are they attainable? Am I being easy on myself? Could I stretch my goals even a little bit further? And do your short-term specific goals align with your personal and your team goals? Will you make enough incremental progress in the next 6 campaigns to achieve your personal and team goals? And it's okay if you find, after you reflected a little bit, if you find that your goals just aren't quite right, it is okay. You can switch your goals. Okay? And sometimes after we go through the whole vibe process and looking at your numbers, you might say, gosh, actually, I think I could step my goals up a little bit. Look what I've actually been doing. And you can pat yourself on the back. So this is the last slide before we talk about the application guide. So again, once you have your goals set, it's important to think about how you're going to achieve them. And we have to think about a strategy. A strategy is a high-level set of activities. And here are some possible ideas for strategies. So when you're thinking about your personal goals, you have to think about how will you achieve that title goal. In the chat box, type in there, you all know where you're at right now title-wise. Do you or have you set a goal to reach the next title? Have you said, yes, I want to be a silver ambassador? But if you think back at that, is that a smart goal? You know, did you say, okay, I want to be a silver ambassador, and I want to be a silver ambassador by the time I go to RepFest? Or I want to be a silver ambassador by August 2nd, which is RepFest dates. So when you're thinking about those things, you need to be thinking more on the SMART goal level. How will you actually increase your earnings? Maybe you're saying, I want to hold my title as President's Club, and I want to do it without utilizing double dollars. I want to hit $10,000 or 15. I don't know. We don't know what the new plan is coming forward. I want to hit $10,000 and I want to do it without having to use those double dollars and have an actual $10,000 in sales. So you have to think about, what are some strategies to put in place? What are you going to do every campaign to make that happen? How will you increase your personal sales? How will you identify potential new representatives? So these are just some questions that we talk about. And then when it comes to your team goals, I see a lot of teams just struggling right now. Not everybody on your team's ordering. So maybe you're thinking about, how can I get my team orders up? Because that's one of my goals, is to get more people on my team ordering. So then we have to think about a strategy to put in place. There it was. How will you help team members place more orders? I think with our new online, it's not new, with our online store and the increase of us really working to build some new online customers, some new online business, it's a whole nother source for you all to make more money and for your team to make more money. Type in the chat box if you've thought about how much you're going to earn through the high five this month. Have you come up with your own little plan to say, I'm going to earn, I know I'm going to earn $50 because I'm going to have 10 new online customers. And these customers can be anybody, actually, I've learned, by the way. It can be a customer that ordered from you in January. If she orders from you in February, she's qualified for you to get your high five money. And remember, it has to be a $50 order. Oh, come on, Janet, you do not. You're hilarious, Janet. Let's see. No, I have not set a goal of another title. I am working on keeping the one that I have. Perfect, Janet. And that's a great goal. Just to keep it a safe, steady title that you have. Anna says that's a goal she has. My goal is to be a solid gold ambassador at RepFest, and I want to be a silver leader or better by the end of the year, and $100 for high five. And Janet, you do not stink at goals. Mary Beth says, I'm loving the rapid pay, but I haven't set a high five goal. Has anyone had any new customers on your online store? Anna says, my goal is to help my team increase total orders.
Excellent. I've had new online customers in my store.
Woohoo!
I had one today who, it's a normal, regular customer. She texted me a $66 order, and I sent her a text back that said, hey, you know, if you go to my e-store, you get a free mascara and free shipping. And so she put her order in on there. And then another lady did the same thing. She texted me that she wanted to place an order and wanted to know how, if she just texts it to me or if she has to call me. And I directed her to my e-store, and I saw that she registered as a new customer, but the order hasn't popped up yet. It was just 10 minutes ago.
Excellent. Very good. So you're utilizing current customers that reach out with an order higher than 50 and encouraging them to go to your online.
Correct.
Great. And then you said the second one, she was a new customer, or was she a regular customer? Sorry.
She was new.
Oh. Well, good. So do you think that now that she's registered, and if you don't see an order within how long, will you make a call to her, or what will you do to encourage her to get
actually, she had talked to me over the weekend and never placed the order. So I actually followed up with her today.
And then she registered. Excellent.
And now I've seen the register. So if I don't hear from her, I'll wait a couple more days. And when I check in with that one, I'll say, hey, I'm just making sure that everything went okay. I saw you registered, but I didn't see an order go through.
Sure. Okay. Excellent. Love it. Let's see. Julie. Wait. Anna says, not one new customer online. No one knows how to use a computer. New customers, but not online. Interesting. I just got an online order of 125, but not a new online customer. Janet, had they ordered from you in the month of February yet? Because they don't have to be a new customer. They could have ordered from you in December and January, but the minute they ordered in February, New Avon right now is counting that to go towards your high five incentive, just because they ordered on your online store in February. So you'll probably get credit for that, Janet. Julie, yes, 2 new customers, 50 plus this week so far. For February, I have 5 out of 20 for high five. Great. No, they did not. Awesome. Okay. So, and that might be something that when you're filling out your homework on the back page, there's an area for some strategies. You might say, okay, one of my strategies is to reach out to all of my current customers and engage them and help them learn how to use the computer. Whether it be over the phone in the evening when you're at home, during the day when you're at their house. I know some of you are doing deliveries. Maybe you take an extra 20 minutes to go in and say, hey, let me help you register on my store. We'll bookmark it right to your computer, your phone, your laptop, your iPad, or whatever it is they use. So that way you can click on it and place your order anytime you want. And at any time, I'll walk you through the process. All right, so good. Thank you all for sharing. I love it when we share. So this is what the application guide looks like. I emailed it out earlier today. And for this one, sometimes it's simpler if you print it off to fill it out. Those of you that feel comfortable with Adobe and PDF format, then feel free to just fill it in online. So the first page is really defining your why. It helps you look at your goals, your next 3-month goals. And then we talk about the last 6 campaigns. Okay, so we're just got done with C4. And so we're going to go backwards 6 campaigns. So that would bring us back to campaign 25. And that's how you would do the very first page, second page of the homework here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out of this, and I'm going to show you who has had a chance to at least look at the application guide. Anyone? So the first page, you're defining your why, your dream. And in order to achieve your dreams, you need how much money with what title. And then it talks about your 3-month goal. What did you earn in your last 3 months? So we're going to pull up your earnings, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that, which many of you probably do that on a regular basis. And then what is your current title? And what are your personal goals for the next 3 months? So up here, it's more of defining your dream, your future dream. But then we also have to break it down into, well, we're breaking it down into a 3-month time frame to help you reach that dream. And it might just be a stepping stone to your dream, right? The next 3 months might just be a stepping stone to reach that end of the year dream or that end of 2-year dream. In Janet's case, in 2020, right? But we want to look at it on a 3-month scale. So what did you earn? What's your current leader title? What are your personal goals for the next 3 months? What do you want your title to be in the next 3 months? Maybe your title is the same as it is right now. That's okay. I think it was Janet who says just maintain her silver ambassador. Perfect. And then your total earnings. How much do you want to earn in the next 3 months? Now this page is looking back at your results for the last 6 campaigns. See right here, it says personal measures. This is in regards to your personal business. So if it was me, I would put in here campaign 25, 26, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we have all the information for these. Then you would look up your earnings amount in those 6 campaigns. You would type in your earnings title. What was your title in 25? What was your title in 26? You'll see if it's the same, if it's went down, if it's went up. You fill that in. Then you look at your generation new appointments. How many appointments have you had? New people that have put their first order in on your team in these 6 campaigns. And then what did your personal sales look like? Okay. The second piece is your team measures for campaigns 25 and so on, all the way up to 4. And on some of your reports, actually we're only going to look at one called the Leadership Performance Report. You'll be able to see how many team new appointments you've had. And you can fill that in. How big has your team been? Maybe it's fluctuated. Maybe you've had 9 and then you had 10 in 26. And then in campaign 1, you still had 10. And then in campaign 2, maybe you lost 1 and you were back to 9. So that number can vary. Maybe you're down at this point to 7, or maybe you're up. Team order activity, we're going to look at that. Team orders, team average order size, and your team sales. And then at the end, we want you to add them up and then come up with an average. So you would add all 6 categories or all 6 campaigns, divide it by 6, and then you would get your average. Okay, that's that bottom row there. Same with the top part. So that's the part where we're going to look numbers up. The second part is setting your goals for the next 6 campaigns. Where do you want your earnings to be in the next 6 campaigns? What do you want your title to be in the next 6 campaigns? How many new appointments do you want come campaign? And we're talking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now tell me in the chat box, who is a numbers person? Who enjoys looking at numbers? Anyone? Janet, you said, I was thinking of any customer from here out who has an order of 40 to pull out my mini laptop and help them place their order right there. Excellent. And even one step further too, Janet, maybe show them how to do it right on their own device. That way, the next time they might feel comfortable just doing it themselves because you taught them how to do it on their own device. And during this time frame, right now it's a $50 order to get them the free lip, the free mascara, and to get you the money for high five. So it's a $40 order. You may want to engage or do some upselling to help them get to a $50 order. And just say, oh my gosh, did you know you could get an A box for $10? Or, you know, and I know you're so good at all those sales things. There you go. Sounds good. 40 plus an A box. All right. Who's a numbers person? Let me see. Mary Beth, you like numbers. Janet hates numbers. Julie likes numbers. Okay. Excellent. Numbers are fun for some. So let's go to Vibe. And I'm just going to show you 2 things. Where's my Vibe? I hope I'm still signed in. First, I want you to go to your earnings, because remember in that first category, we needed to see how much you've earned for the last 6 campaigns. So we're going to go to your leadership earnings right here under earnings and rewards. We're going to click on leadership earnings. And then we have to, the way I know how to do it is you individually pull up the campaign. So this one can feel time consuming. Just have your paper and pencil ready. And so what you would do is you would just come up here and you'd click on the campaign. We want to start back in campaign 25, right? Because we're going back 6 campaigns. So you just go down to 25. The number you want to look at is total paid this campaign, A plus B. Do you see this one right here that I have my arrow on? I don't know sometimes if you guys can't see my arrow. So this was the total earnings here, $465.07. So that's what you would write down for. And this is only, this report only wants your leadership earnings, because right now we're talking your leadership business. We're not talking about your sales business and the percentages and money you're earning from that piece. We're just looking at leadership. So I would write down campaign 25 earnings, and I would put 465.07. Now, if you guys haven't ever dug deep into this report, if you click over here, it says bonus, and you click on the little black thing, it'll pull down your bonuses that you've received and that are compiling to this 465 number. So qualified new recruit, she earned $60. Sponsoring, right? For all new recruits, you get a sponsoring bonus of 3%. So she earned $104.79 from sponsoring. So there's part of how she got paid. The next part, you go down to generation bonus. So you get paid for your first, second, and third generation, right? And here it shows me G1. She got paid $278 from G1, G2 $10, and G3 $11. And you don't need those numbers. I just wanted to show you guys where you can look up some of those details. Leader bonus would be if she titled to a new leader or if she mentored someone to a new title, and those bonuses would be $250 or more. Okay, so there's that campaign. And if we want to go look at the next campaign, campaign 26, total earnings right here. Remember, it's the third column. These other numbers, you guys, are like projected and what Avon thinks you'll make based on who might pay, who might not pay. You only get paid on the recruits that pay their bill, or your team members that pay their bill. So that's why Avon has all these projected numbers. But this is the actual amount, total paid, $375.35. Okay, so I write that down, and then we go to the next one, campaign 1, and we do the same thing, total earnings, $317. And then we go to the next, okay? Does that make sense? Any questions on where to find that? Janice says she's finally getting used to her reports on Vibe. Good. All right. So next we're going to look at the other piece. And I'm going to go back to Vibe. And we click on My Team. And we're going to go to Team Reports. Hopefully all of you have taken a look at your team reports under the My Team tab. Leadership performance should pull up all of the categories, if you see leadership performance on the left, of what you need to see for this report. For this report, there are 6 leaders in her leadership performance. We're going to go to advanced filter options. You see that at the top here? Over here on the left, it says campaign between. Remember, we are going back campaign 25 through campaign 4, right? And because I know that Kim is a bronze leader, I just want to see her numbers right now for her team. So you can do the same thing for you. If you're a silver ambassador, just go ahead and click silver ambassador to silver ambassador, and it's just going to pull up your reports for your team. That way you won't see everyone else's that's in leadership on your team. So something we wanted to see, right? One of the things was team sales. Maybe after I have all these clicked, you can take a picture. However, I did email you with a screenshot of what reports you need to have clicked. We also want to see your personal sales, don't we? Because that is part of your personal goals. We want to see your team size. We don't care what language right now. Performance title, we want to see because in your personal measures, that's one of the things that you have to fill in. We don't need to see, let's see. We don't need to see your first gen orders. I know it's clicked here. We're going to unclick that because over here it says team orders. We, in the bottom part under your leadership measures, we want to see your team orders. We also, going back to the second column, we want to see your team order activity percent. We don't really need their phone number right now, so I'm going to unclick that. We do want to see your team average order size. We don't need to see if their campaign's at risk. We don't need their email. We do want to see first gen new appointments because that is you and how much you've recruited, which goes in your personal measures. We want to see your total team sales. We do want to see the campaign because remember we're looking at 6 campaigns. Team new appointments. Yes, we want to see how many people your team has recruited, and we want to see your team orders. Okay. So take a screenshot if that's going to help you be able to know what to click on when you go into your own Vibe to do your homework. So anyone that's on 1.0 is not qualified for the high five incentive. I do need to make, I just was reading that last week and that stuck out to me. So all right, so hopefully you guys got a picture. I am going to run the report. Okay, it says I have 0 results found. So let me go back up to, I'm going to go to the current title performance. Let me try something different. Gold ambassador to bronze leader. Okay, so here's Kim. So hopefully that helps you guys know what to click on. So that way it's simple for you to fill in your homework. Because if you just click on all those things, you're going to get every answer you need. And then you just have to do the math by adding up the 6 columns. See how it pulled up? First gen new appointments. Those are the appointments Kim has done. Her team has, this many people have ordered. Here's her team size. So that equals her activity percentage. Okay. Team average order size in, I'm assuming this is campaign 25 right here at the top, $193. Campaign 25 was a great campaign for the whole nation. And as we see, it goes down a little bit as the new year comes. So who has questions about the reports that you need to pull up? Anyone? Okay. Thanks for walking us through. You're welcome. I know that there's 2 of us that have our call, 3 of us, I can't remember, but I know Janet and Lorraine, we have our call together on Thursday. Tonight, Anna and I talk, but we're going to do conversational selling. So no questions. Okay, well, good luck on your homework. Please reach out if you need anything. Do your very best to figure it out on your own, but make sure to send it to me prior to, or let me know if you need help. I can help you through it on our call as well. So good luck, you guys, with your dreams and your goals. And this one really is fun because it helps us really understand the numbers piece to our business, especially after you fill out everything. And because we're going to dig deeper to help you put strategies in place. So thanks so much, everyone. I see someone chatted something. A side note, the Westminster show was first held on May 8th, 1877, making it the second longest continuously held sporting event in the United States behind only the Kentucky Derby, which was held in 1875. Oh my gosh. No wonder you guys are watching that tonight. Very cool. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great night.